Hey there, it's Karen at Simply Living for Him. I'm here to do my daily devotion. These devotions are found every day on the YouTube channel and in the Simply Living for Him online women's community. So if you are encouraged, I would encourage you, number one, to share it on your social media, to share it with a friend, and also to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you would like to receive these every day. Or you can just join the Simply Living for Him online women's community, where you'll find not only these devotions, but Bible studies and just great online encouragement and resources to help you grow in your walk with the Lord and in His Word. So it's a new year. Today is our first day of really getting back into a regular schedule with homeschool and house stuff and ministry stuff and just getting back to, normal. And I was lying in bed last night and I was just thinking about how much, we had a really wonderful Christmas break and how much I was quite not ready to go back to normal. And then my thoughts started just going to sad things and, all kinds of negative things really. And I just kept feeling over and over to have the mind of Christ, to get control of your thoughts. And I really was thinking about, that mindset for the new year. I could either go into today, feeling like I'm down and thinking about negative things, or thinking about how much I don't want the Christmas season to end, or thinking about, what's ahead. Or I could just go into it with the mind of Christ and say, God, this year is yours. Today is yours. Rather than focus on what I've lost, what do you have for me today? Because every single day is a new opportunity to serve Him. And we cannot dwell on the things of this world. We cannot dwell on our circumstances. We have to serve Him and love Him and serve others and love others, no matter what the circumstances are around us. And I don't know what this year will bring, but I do know who brought me to this new year, and that is God Himself. And when we focus on the things above, when we focus on our real, true purposes, that helps us to deal with everything that's going on here on earth in a better way. It's not that we don't focus on the things of this earth because they're not important, but we focus on them in the perspective. We filter it through the lens of the heavenly, the lens of God. And so I want to encourage you today, if you're feeling like me, it's like the first day of, back to kind of normal stuff. What does that mean? Number one, is there really any normal? As we've all learned, every day is unexpected and there really is no normal. It really is looking at it as today is a new day, and what do you have for me, God, regardless of the circumstances or because of the circumstances? How can I serve you today, Lord? So number one, we want to get our mindset in the right place, and we want to always, always, always have the mind of Christ. We want to always, think of everything through the lens of His Word and through God. In Philippians 4, chapter 4, verse 8, this is one of my favorite verses, says, "And now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about the things that are excellent and worthy of praise." And then it follows with verse 9. "Keep putting into practice all you learned and received from me, everything you heard and from me and saw me doing. Then the God of peace will be with you." So Paul is talking here and he's telling us to fix our mind on the things of God, because the things of God are lovely and pure and right and honorable and true. And when we fill our mind with those things, there's a lot less room for the negative things. There's a lot less room, honestly, to say it honestly, is a lot less room for our own thoughts. Because I don't know about you, but I'd much rather have my mind filled with God's ways than my ways, with His thoughts than my thoughts. I want to think like Jesus. I want to think about the world through His perspective. I don't want to think about it in my perspective, because in my perspective, I'm always thinking about me. How does this affect me? What is in store for me? How can I do this, this, and that? And I don't want to do that. I want to have the mind of Christ. I want to think about everything in relation to God. What do you have for me today, God, so that I can serve you, so that I can know you better, so that I can share you with others? And so when we think about things, as it says here, fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure, lovely and admirable. Filling our mind with the things of God helps us to weed out the things of this world, and then to handle the things of this world, like I said, with that mindset. And it's just like it says here in Colossians 3, since you have been raised to new life with Christ, set your sights on the realities of heaven, where Christ sits in the place of honor at God's right hand. Think about the things of heaven, not the things of this earth. That one, I love the beginning part here. I mean, I always think about this verse, number 2. Think about set your mind on things above is what many of us know it. This translation is the New Living Translation. It's a little bit different. Set your mind on things above and not on this earth. And here it says, think about the things of heaven and not on the things of this earth. But when you back up here to verse 1, and it says, since you have been raised to new life with Christ, set your sights on the realities of heaven, where Christ sits in the place of honor at God's right hand. Then it says, think about the things of heaven. So it's telling you, think about the real things. The things of God, the things of heaven are the real things, right? We are stuck in this earth thinking that this is, our one big giant reality show. And that the things of this earth are, what we get so caught up in, so worried about, so, fixed on. And here it's saying to fix your mind on the real things, the true things, the realities of heaven. And I love that because so many of us think that this earth is the real stuff and the things of heaven are those far away, things that we don't, think about in the present. Like that's for someday. And, you almost don't even think about heaven as real. But if you start focusing on heaven as real and eternity as a true, real promise, and this is your future to come, it changes the way you deal with everything else going on in your life. It changes how you deal with the things of this earth when you set your mind on the reality of heaven. This is true. This is an eternal promise. This is our hope to come. That changes everything. All of a sudden, the things of this world and the things of the earth get put in their proper perspective. All of a sudden, the things that you think are so important are not. All of a sudden, the things that you think you must have or do maybe is not necessarily true. But the realities of heaven help us to really fix our mind where it should be. So if you're beginning this day today like me, and you're thinking about, I have this to do and that to do, think about it through the lens of God and through the reality of heaven. Why are you doing the things you do? How are you affecting the kingdom? How are you building the kingdom? How are you serving the Lord? How are you growing closer to Him and knowing Him? Because He's who you're spending eternity with. He's who you're living for. He's the one who has given you the life you live. Your purposes every single day are defined by Him, not by the things of this world, by the reality of Him. So today, set your mind on the reality of heaven and see how it will change how you deal with every single thing that comes your way. Every single moment of your life will be affected when you truly think about the reality of heaven. I want to hear from you too. If you are encouraged, if you have questions, if you just have any comments about that, let me know either here, wherever you're watching it, on the YouTube channel, in the Simply Living for Him community, on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever this is being shared. Let me know what you think, and I'd love to hear from you. I hope you have a wonderful day. I wish you all the blessings and joy in Jesus, and I will see you tomorrow.